Our next speaker will be Veronica Kapoor from the Department of Health Policy and Management. She's speaking on I Won't Call It Obamacare, Promoting the Right to Health Care as an American Value.
Do you have an Aunt Susan? The scholar Robert Putnam presented Aunt Susan theory to explain the following concept. If a person has a relationship with just one member of a different religion, that person becomes more tolerant, not only of that other religion, but of all other religions. One connecting relationship across religious lines fosters acceptance, and the link is Aunt Susan. Regardless of any stereotypes you may hear about Aunt Susan's religion, you know Aunt Susan, and she actually isn't that bad. Your Aunt Susan could be anyone in your social network who bridges a divide. And really, an Aunt Susan can bridge divides across more demographics than just religion. Because discussions about healthcare tend to fall along political lines, we need Aunt Susans to facilitate productive conversations. This is not only the responsibility of those of us in health policy, but it falls on all of us in public health to reframe discussions around healthcare reform. This concept resonated with me when I met Casey, a classmate at the University of North Carolina. Casey was from a small town in the rural South. His father was a farmer and a preacher in the Southern Baptist Church. Casey spent his homeschooling days hunting in Appalachia, and he was already famous in his small town for having the nerve to go to college at all. I, on the other hand, have a muddled heritage. My mother's from a Ukrainian village, my dad is from a small community of Afghan Hindus, and I grew up in my parents' Mexican restaurant near DC. I was Casey's first ethnic friend, his Aunt Susan. Though most of our interactions were of camaraderie as we trudged through our classes, our shared experience created a foundation for candid conversations about our vastly different backgrounds. Some of these conversations were difficult and even hurtful, but I stuck to my resolve that my best hope of combating any prejudice was to maintain my presence in his life. Though I may have begun with the naive belief that I was Casey's Aunt Susan, I now see that he was also mine. Half a year into our friendship, Casey's brother began his battle with cancer. I followed every Facebook post that his mother made through the miracles and the relapses. When it was over, his mother made one final post that summarized every fight they fought, including the ones with Medicaid and hospital safety net care. Interjected in that final post was a sarcastic, "Thanks, Obama," when Casey's brother couldn't get into Medicaid in Tennessee, a state that didn't partake in the ACA Medicaid expansion. In my first encounter with Casey since his brother died, I had the opportunity to preach my politics, but I chose to forego it. All I wanted to tell Casey in that moment was how sincerely I sympathized with his loss. And in turn, he asked me to keep working here in California to fix the system that his brother fell through. The last term I wanted to use in that conversation was Obamacare. Presenting the ACA as a Democratic victory only opens the possibility for repeal to be a Republican victory. The term Obamacare puts Casey and I on opposing sides of a tumultuous political divide, when in fact, we both want the same thing, for Casey's brother and for people like him. So let's move past the partisan rhetoric, and let's move towards a collaborative solution by disconnecting the discussion of healthcare from political party lines. And let's instead focus on creating a shared American value for the right to human health. In public health, we emphasize the need to understand our stakeholders and our population. Opening a conversation starts with building a genuine relationship outside of one's political agenda. If we are to move forward in this country, we need to go out and not only be Aunt Susans, but welcome Aunt Susans into our life. So once again, the question is, do you have an Aunt Susan? Thank you to Molina Healthcare for their support and to Breslow for providing me this opportunity to speak.